Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went there? Or perhaps you've struggled to recall a friend's name that's just on the tip of your tongue. These little slips can be frustrating, even a bit frightening. As we get older, we all cherish our sharp minds, our ability to remember cherished moments, and our independence. But what if I told you that some of the delicious foods you've enjoyed for years, the very ones that bring comfort and joy, could actually be quietly working against your brain health, especially after 60? It's a painful reality to consider, that something so seemingly innocent could be undermining our most precious organ. But the good news is, once you know, you can do something about it. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 common, delicious foods that might be silently damaging your brain, contributing to memory loss, brain fog, and even increasing your risk of cognitive decline as you age. It's not about giving up everything you love, but about making informed choices that empower you to keep your mind vibrant and clear. So, settle in, because what we're about to discuss could truly change how you think about your daily meals. Make sure to watch to the very end, because there's something that will truly surprise you. Let's dive right into our first culprits, foods that many of us simply adore, but that our brains might be secretly resenting. The first category we need to talk about are those irresistible deep-fried delights. Think about crispy fish and chips, golden fried chicken, or even those perfectly seasoned French fries. They're comforting, they're convenient, and they're incredibly tasty, aren't they? But here's the quiet truth when foods are deep-fried, especially in unhealthy oils like vegetable oil, soybean oil, or corn oil. They undergo chemical changes that are far from beneficial for your brain. These oils, when heated to high temperatures, create something called trans fats and also contribute to the formation of harmful compounds known as advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Now, you don't need to remember those names, but what you do need to know is that these substances are powerhouses of inflammation. And inflammation, my friends, is a silent enemy of your brain. Chronic inflammation in the brain can damage neurons, disrupt communication pathways, and over time, it can lead to reduced cognitive function, slower thinking, and a greater risk of conditions like Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. It's like a slow, steady drip eroding the very foundation of your mental sharpness. Instead of frying, consider baking, roasting, or air frying your favorite foods. You can get that wonderful crispiness without flooding your system with inflammatory compounds. For instance, instead of fried chicken, try coating chicken pieces in herbs and spices and baking them until golden brown. You'll be amazed at how satisfying it can be, and your brain will thank you for the reduced inflammatory load. Moving on to our second category. And this one might be even harder to hear because it's everywhere: sugary drinks and excessive added sugar in general. I'm talking about those fizzy sodas, the seemingly innocent fruit juices that are often just sugar water, and even the hidden sugars in so many processed foods. From breakfast cereals to sauces and condiments, we've been told for years that fat is the enemy, but sugar, in large quantities, is a truly formidable foe for your brain. When you consume a lot of sugar, especially refined sugar, it causes a rapid spike in your blood sugar levels. Your body then floods itself with insulin to bring those levels down. Over time, constant high sugar intake can lead to insulin resistance, a state where your cells, including your brain cells, become less responsive to insulin. This is significant because insulin plays a crucial role in brain function, including memory and learning. Some researchers even refer to Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes because of this strong link between insulin resistance and cognitive decline. Beyond insulin, high sugar intake also fuels systemic inflammation and oxidative stress, which, as we just discussed with fried foods, are detrimental to brain health. It can impair the formation of new memories and make it harder to focus and concentrate. Think about that sluggish feeling, that brain fog after a sugary snack. It's not just your imagination. The good news is, Cutting back on sugar doesn't mean giving up sweetness entirely. Start by swapping sugary sodas for plain water, perhaps with a slice of lemon or cucumber for a refreshing twist. Instead of fruit juice, eat whole fruit. You get the fiber, which helps moderate sugar absorption, along with all the beneficial vitamins and antioxidants. For your morning coffee or tea, try reducing the sugar gradually, or explore natural alternatives like a tiny drizzle of maple syrup or honey, but sparingly. Reading food labels becomes your superpower here. Sugar hides under many names, like high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, and maltose. Be vigilant, and your brain will reward you with clearer thoughts and better memory. It's a habit that takes time to change, but the payoff for your long-term cognitive health is immense. Now that we've talked about the dangers of deep-fried foods and excessive sugar, let's smoothly transition to our third category, which often goes hand in hand with sugary treats: refined carbohydrates. Picture those fluffy white breads, delicious pastries, white pasta, and many breakfast cereals that unfortunately offer little more than quick energy and a sugar rush. You might think, but it's not sugar, it's bread. The truth is, highly refined carbohydrates are essentially broken down into sugar very quickly in your body, often even faster than table sugar. This means they trigger the same rapid blood sugar spikes and insulin responses we just discussed, leading to that cycle of inflammation and oxidative stress that chips away at your brain health. When your blood sugar crashes after a surge, you can experience brain fog, irritability, and a noticeable dip in energy and focus. For someone over 60, these constant fluctuations are particularly taxing on the brain, contributing to memory problems and making it harder to maintain sustained concentration. The brain relies on a steady supply of energy, not these wild roller coaster rides. The good news is, making this change is quite straightforward and incredibly impactful. Instead of white bread, choose whole grain options. Look for bread where the first ingredient is whole wheat or whole grain. Swap out white pasta for whole wheat pasta, brown rice, quinoa, or even vegetable-based noodles like zucchini spirals. Incorporate more fibrous vegetables and legumes into your meals. These provide complex carbohydrates that are digested slowly, offering a steady stream of glucose to your brain, preventing those detrimental spikes and crashes. Think of it as providing your brain with a smooth, consistent fuel source rather than erratic, explosive bursts. Your mental clarity will improve, and you'll likely feel more energized throughout the day. It's a simple swap with profound long-term benefits for your cognitive vitality. Our fourth category to be wary of, especially for your brain after 60, involves processed meats. This includes popular items like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and many deli meats like salami and bologna. They might be quick, convenient, and flavorful additions to a meal, but their convenience comes at a cost to your brain. These meats are often laden with unhealthy saturated fats, high levels of sodium, and various preservatives, including nitrates and nitrites. While taste-enhancing, these additives and the way these meats are processed can contribute to systemic inflammation throughout your body, including your brain. High sodium intake can contribute to high blood pressure, which in turn can damage the delicate blood vessels that supply your brain, impairing blood flow and increasing your risk of vascular dementia. Nitrates and nitrites, in particular, have been linked in some studies to the formation of compounds that can be harmful to brain cells and contribute to neuroinflammation. Furthermore, the saturated fats found in abundance in many processed meats can raise cholesterol levels, another factor impacting cardiovascular health, which is intricately linked to brain health. A healthy heart means a healthy blood supply to your brain. So, what's the alternative? Focus on lean, unprocessed protein sources. Think about fresh chicken breast, fish rich in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon or mackerel, eggs, beans, lentils, or even plant-based proteins like tofu and tempeh. When you do choose red meat, opt for lean cuts and prepare them simply, perhaps by baking, grilling, or stewing. Making these healthier protein choices not only protects your brain, but also benefits your heart and overall energy levels. It's about choosing nourishing fuel over quick, inflammatory convenience. And for our fifth food category that can quietly damage your brain after 60, let's talk about artificial sweeteners and highly processed diet foods. This might come as a surprise, as these products are often marketed as healthier alternatives for weight loss or managing blood sugar. Think about diet sodas, sugar-free candies, and many low-fat, high-carb processed snacks that use artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, or saccharin, while they don't contain sugar calories. Emerging research suggests they might not be the brain-friendly solution we once thought. Some studies indicate that artificial sweeteners can negatively impact your gut microbiome, the community of beneficial bacteria in your digestive system. Your gut and your brain are in constant communication through what's known as the gut-brain axis. A disrupted gut microbiome can contribute to inflammation, affect mood, and potentially impact cognitive function. It's a complex area of research, but the growing evidence suggests that these artificial alternatives might interfere with our body's natural metabolic processes and even perpetuate sugar cravings, keeping us on a cycle of desiring sweet, often unhealthy, foods. Moreover, many diet-processed foods, even if sugar-free, are often still highly refined, lacking in fiber and essential nutrients, and filled with other additives that don't support overall health or brain vitality. The brain thrives on whole, nutrient-dense foods. So, what's the better path? Reduce your reliance on these artificial substitutes. Instead of a diet soda, reach for sparkling water with a splash of fresh fruit juice or a few berries. If you have a sweet tooth, try to satisfy it with natural sources like a small handful of berries, a piece of dark chocolate with a high cocoa content, or a naturally sweet vegetable like a baked sweet potato. The goal is to gradually re-educate your palate to appreciate natural flavors and reduce the constant need for intense sweetness. Whether from sugar or artificial substitutes, it's about feeding your brain truly nourishing ingredients, not chemically engineered ones. Now, we've covered 5 crucial categories of foods. And for our 6th and final item, something that might surprise you, we need to talk about excessive alcohol consumption. While not strictly a food, alcohol is a widely consumed indulgence that, in moderation, can be part of many people's lives. However, for those over 60, especially in larger quantities, it can quietly and significantly damage your brain over time. The effects of alcohol on the brain are cumulative, meaning they build up year after year. Chronic, heavy alcohol use can lead to brain shrinkage, particularly in areas important for memory and learning. It can also cause deficiencies in essential vitamins, especially B vitamins like thiamine, which are crucial for brain health. A severe thiamine deficiency can lead to serious neurological problems, including a type of dementia. Even moderate drinking can have subtle effects, slowing down processing speed, impacting balance and coordination, and making memory recall more challenging. As we age, our bodies often metabolize alcohol differently, and its effects can be more pronounced and longer lasting. The brain, already undergoing natural aging processes, becomes more vulnerable to alcohol's neurotoxic effects. It's not about abstinence for everyone, but about truly understanding moderation and how alcohol impacts your specific brain health. So, what's the actionable step here for many? It means reassessing their current alcohol intake. The general guidelines for older adults often suggest no more than 1 drink per day for women and no more than 2 for men, and even less for some individuals depending on their health conditions and medications. But many find benefit in having several alcohol-free days each week, or even exploring the growing variety of delicious non-alcoholic beers, wines, and spirits available. Prioritizing hydration with water throughout the day can also naturally reduce the desire for alcoholic beverages. Giving your brain a break from alcohol allows it to repair and function more optimally, preserving its precious cognitive abilities. This small shift can have a profound positive impact on your memory, clarity, and overall well-being as you continue to live your best life. So, we've explored 6 common, delicious foods that, while pleasurable, can quietly undermine your brain health after 60. From those tempting deep-fried delights and sugary drinks to refined carbohydrates, processed meats, artificial sweeteners, and even excessive alcohol, each one, in its own way, contributes to inflammation, oxidative stress, and nutrient deficiencies that can dim your mental sparkle. The good news, the truly encouraging message here, is that this isn't about deprivation or living a life without enjoyment. It's about awareness and empowerment. It's about making small, consistent shifts that collectively create a massive positive impact on your cognitive health. Remember, your brain is an incredibly adaptable and resilient organ. It responds positively to good nutrition and care. Even if you've enjoyed these foods for years, it's never too late to start nourishing your brain with the fuel it truly deserves. Think of these changes not as restrictions, but as investments in a clearer mind, sharper memory, and a more vibrant, independent future. Imagine the joy of easily recalling names, engaging in spirited conversations, and pursuing new hobbies with confidence and mental agility. Those seemingly small choices you make at the grocery store, in your kitchen, or when ordering a meal can add up to profound improvements in your brain function and overall quality of life. Start by picking just one of these categories that resonates most with you and aim to make a small change this week. Perhaps you swap out your usual soda for sparkling water, or try baking your next meal instead of frying. Every small step is a victory for your brain. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these foods are you going to focus on reducing first? Or perhaps you have a healthy swap you already love. Share your thoughts and experiences. Your insights could inspire someone else. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more practical tips and inspiring content designed to help you live your best life at every age. Your brain is your most valuable asset. Let's protect it together. Live your best life at every age.